So let's try and understand what processes are actually all about. So basically in any business, guys, there are two very popular kind of activities, right? Your primary activities and your support activities, also called the primary functions and support functions. For example, if you're running a tech business, okay, where you're responsible for developing software which can be used by other businesses, what do you think are this the primary function? Product is the primary function, right? Technology development is the primary function. On the other hand, let's assume that you are Metvy and you are trying to help people learn from mentors. Then the primary function is not technology. The primary function would be the procurement of mentors, right? Or primary function would be facilitating the online live sessions. Primary function would not be building technology. It would be a support function or a support activity, right? So whenever we are looking at it, we need to understand that every business would have certain support functions and certain primary functions, correct? The responses on the chat are right, Parth and Devabrata. So we always need to understand this from that it's going to be different for different businesses. So this is not standard for all kinds of businesses. Now, if we want to understand a business fully in terms of how it is operating, we look at process mapping. Okay, that how is this business operating? And it is very difficult to always, put down the entire functioning of a business through a chart. It is not always possible. And most importantly, it is not always so clean. So if you look at this map on the left, this is basically a process map of a agricultural manufacturing business because it's very easy to understand, right? So we know that agriculture is a seasonal business, correct? And therefore, with time, the primary functions are changing. Initially, the primary function is inbound logistics. Then the primary function becomes operations, right? Manufacturing. So inbound logistics is the process of harvesting the crops, actually delivering them to the site where they can be stored or further processed. Next step is manufacturing, right? Next step is outbound logistics. So once, wheat has been created out of the crop, it has to be packaged and then it has to be sold to the distributors, right? Once that is happening, what is going on? The distributors are looking after the marketing and sales process, right? And then whatever is happening once the product has been sold to the customer is the after sales services. So with time, the primary function is changing, but you can see that the support activities continue to be there, which is your firm infrastructure. Obviously, in case you want to conduct any of these activities, there needs to be some kind of firm infrastructure. Human resource management, because at the end of the day, all of these activities are being performed by people, right? Technology development, because again, whatever is being done, somewhere it is using technology. It could be machines, it could be simple softwares to track how the product is going from one place to another. It could be vehicles, which is responsible for logistics, right? And procurement, which is that at every step there needs to be some kind of procurement that is taking place. So in this particular chart, we can observe that primary activities are changing over a period of time, but support activities are constant. But this does not mean that every business would have, primary activities as changing continuously and supporting activities being constant. It could also be the other way around. And it could also be a mix of both the things. That support activities are not, all of them are not constant. Some of them are constant. Similarly, primary activities are also not all of them are constant. Some are constant, some are seasonal in nature. But this chart just helps us understand that the entire functioning of a business can be portrayed graphically.